Hello, beautiful humans. I am here in Browns Woods in Des Moines, Iowa. I felt the need to pull at least one card from my Lightworker Oracle deck. It's been quite a trip so far as just kind of, there was a lady last night, she kind of said it perfectly. She said expectations are premeditated resentments, right? And so I've been kind of contemplating this whole idea because sometimes when we go on a trip, what we think the reality is going to be, what we think the medicine is not the medicine. So I found that actually the solitude in the woods is the medicine. And solitude itself can be such a beautiful thing when you're in the right environment, and such a claustrophobic thing if you're not. So I don't know if you're like me, but if I am in solitude in the woods or in nature, I feel great. But if I'm stuck inside, I do not. So I am going to pull a card as far as solitude, as far as just where we are in this now moment, and like how we can truly create on a grander scale the world that we want in the midst of the dismembering. Okay, I'm gonna take all three, honestly. So the first one is mirror. So mirror, who or what is triggering you. So I don't know, the way that I see this card in this instance is just being able to see who's around us and how they are aspects of ourselves, and how everything that we're hating on is actually a part of us. It's a really beautiful card. Let me pull up what it says in the book. I should have stopped and got some bug spray, because these babies, they be eating. They're about it. Even some tea tree. I keep forgetting my tea tree. All right. The filter of our own experience is how we experience life 90% of the time. Through our own projections. When someone reminds us of an unhealed experience, we get triggered, which is so on point. Often, it's a unconscious thing. People and situations can trigger our mirrors to reflect back to us what we believe to be true about life, the universe, and ourselves. Mirrors pointing to our shadow and to our light. Mirrors revealing the parts of us that are yet to be accepted, witnessed, or loved. I'm definitely experiencing that right now. It's generally in my life, but also particularly on this trip. The card is guiding you to look closely at what experiences or people are currently triggering in you and what they could be mirroring back to you. When have you felt like this before? Could they be opportunities to heal something in you? Or are they shining a light on something that longs to be witnessed in you? This goes for the good and the bad. The good, those who we admire and put on a pedestal. If we do not realize that we are attracted to them because we are like them, we will need to cut down in order to rise to their level. The bad, those we despise or envious of or put down. If we do not realize that they trigger something in us, then it's still yet to be healed, and we will remain hurt and wounded ourselves. So that is the mirror. And if I think about this, like right now, this is so embedded in our society, because it's like, since the pandemic, we all kind of live in these little virtual worlds, and people have gotten to a point where they don't even know how to connect and interact with one another. But it's like they're watching shows, or they're like completely creating an experience where we are activating those mirror neurons, but it's like we've lost track of doing it in a face-to-face sort of way. And then I see this ant seriously all up on my my little card deck. And if you know anything about me, you know that ants freak me the fuck out when there's a lot of them, but there's just one. It's like the shadow animal right there in front of me. All right, so the next card that I got is Priestess. So the divine feminine. How are you being called to step up and lead? So this is another part. So when it comes to these little worlds that we are like cultivating and creating, it's an escape, right? Just like alcohol, just like drugs, just like even like a role, right? The role of the mother can be an escape from what we are as ourselves. Like defining ourselves by just one aspect of ourselves is an escape, right? So going into that priestess energy is the opposite of escape. It is actually realizing that we have something within us that can lead others, and like moving past the fear, moving past like, oh, well, what will happen if I step up? Like, what is happening when you're not? Like, it's really like the other side of the coin as far as that is concerned. Sorry, I'm getting bitten up. I totally should have remembered to get bug spray. Because these babies, Iowa be about it. They're vampiric. So yeah, priestess. Where are you, priestess? Can't remember which one it is. PL. Okay, it's not that. It must be this one. Come on, priestess. Where are you? See protection. Oh. Okay. A priestess is a teacher dedicated to service, freedom, and leadership. You don't need to have it all together to lead. In fact, it helps when you don't. I see that in my classroom like every single day. If I don't know something, it's actually a lot more powerful for them because then we find the answer together. Let your life be your message. Don't underestimate the power of sharing your story. It's by hearing someone else's journey that we feel less alone. We realize that we're actually all in this thing called life together. The difference between a follower and a leader is that a leader has the courage to go first. In stepping out, they shine a light on the path for others to do and venture forward. Don't fret about it. Don't get stuck in age, income, hobbies, all those mirrors, right? Those masks. Well, the mask and the mirror. The best way to discover your tribe is to look in the mirror. If you feel called to lead, chances are it's because at some point in your life you long for someone to lead you, right? It's that reciprocity, as above, so below, as within, so without, that we create this reality that we're living in. And like just taking the moment to pause and to reflect and to get out of the programming. I know I say that a lot and it's been a while since I've made one of these, but it's just like we have to claim that power back. And especially when it comes to these polarizations, it's like the us and the them. These are stories that people are putting on us, and it's like we're collectively feeding these stories, and we need to take that power back in order to get past them. And then the last one, of course, we've got Anna, grandmother of Jesus. Seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. So again, I don't know how you guys have been feeling, but lately, this year especially, with all of the collective narratives that have been breaking down and like all the ways in which we're seeing the writing on the wall and like being silenced and not listened to, I ask myself every once in a while, why did I incarnate at this time? Because this time is like hella painful, right? But you always have to go within and remember you did it for a reason, right? And I feel like Anna is trying to remind us of this. Like, what was our reason for coming into this life at this time? Like, what are we bringing into it from our other lifetimes? Who are we this time? And how do we come together in relationship and in connection and really figure out what that means for us? So I feel like the universe is trying to teach me patience with all these bugs, for real. All right, so Anna, grandmother of Jesus. Anna, grandmother of Jesus, was an ancient mystic who dedicated her life to laying the foundations for Christ consciousness to be woven through life. She's not widely known, but without her, Christ consciousness would not be rising as it is today. Anna represents the quiet dedication that's sometimes required to live a life of service. She represents the generations that come before that devoted their lives to dreaming a new world into being while knowing they would not see glorious end result. So I've talked about this a lot with the people around me, and I really do believe it and feel it. I think we are in the establishing like stage of this. Everything has been dreamt, and we like contribute our own dreams, but at the same time it is action time, it is rebuild time, it is like break shit down in the true scorpionic way and build what is right for all the people, because right now we're literally like being sucked dry and exploited, and so many people are the casualties of this system that doesn't even work for those who are at the top because they have lost their souls. So that's part of what I think we're remembering with Anna. She teaches us that we all have a part to play in the divine plan. One person's part is not worthier than another. One person's part may be to mother their children. Another's may be to gather women in circle each month. No part is better or worse, more important or less significant. We each have within us a seed of light that we incarnated to share. Anna is gathering us all to remember and surrender to our part of the plan. So I'm going to hold this little baby up, and I'm going to read it, and you can feel it as you want. Beloved Anna, thank you for laying the foundations for the divine plan. May the seeds of light within me be revealed, and may I surrender to my part of the divine plan. So that is what we have here today in Browns Woods in Des Moines, Iowa. This beautiful, beautiful place. And the birds, they nourish my soul. As you can see, I'm surrounded by green, which during this incredible heat wave was very necessary for me. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll catch you on the flip side.